a true, a textbook stretch forward.
Here's Collier. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
She always knows where her teammates are going to be, and she'll have that ball there waiting.
Evish with the bucket.
And look how well she led her in there with that pass.
You want to talk about a well-rounded player? Sabrina Ionescu can really do it all.
And we knew this about her early on. She was the only player in college basketball history, male or female, with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,000 assists. I mean, think about that for a moment. She is a special, special talent.
Now here's McBride. Pass to Williams. Collier outside.
On the way, right here.
And we have an intentional foul there. Wish I could say why.
Yeah, that was a strange play. I'm not sure what came over her. I mean, if you ask me, it's just an odd time to foul.
Here's Williams. McBride outside. Off target from three-point range. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have, staying aggressive and playing control. Great read by Ionescu at just about 6 feet. Sabrina is pretty tall for a 1. She's able to see the whole court.
Now here's Williams. Nafisa Collier for 3. Drills the three-pointer.
Please, please don't take your eyes off her, because she can make plays from multiple spots on the floor.
Jones with it. Covered by Smith. Jones, no good.
The defense can't make a habit of giving her that shot. She just doesn't miss many of them.
Here's McBride. The rebound by Brianna Stewart.
Such tough defense there against one of the better finishers in the game.
Cloud can't get it to go.
The shot was there for her. She had to take it. And I don't care if she didn't convert. She should take it again next time.
New York leading. Ionescu left side. And a foul on the shot. She'll go to the strike for 2. You know, when you look at Sabrina Ionescu, one of the highlights for her in the offseason, competing against Steph Curry in a three-point contest. That was fun.
It was also special for NBA and WNBA fans. The event took place during the NBA All-Star Weekend, and Sabrina held her own, recording a score of 26 to Steph's 29. You gotta admire how Sabrina Ionescu can do it all. She can score, distribute, grab rebounds. Whatever you need, she can do it. And that kind of versatility is just invaluable.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first. Her second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2.
That 6'6" height coming in handy for Jones, able to see the floor well and rotate it to the open player.
McBride outside. Pass to Smith. Williams. Here's Collier. It's good. The assist that time from Courtney Williams.
Give an assist there, not for a pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed her up and really just made that layup possible.
And there it is.
Very clever passing. She put that ball on a silver platter for her.
Outside Williams. Over to the left wing. And she can't bank that one in.
Didn't see that miss coming. She's usually so good from that range.
Here's Burke. Got a piece of it. And she's able to get it back. Another shot. Basket counts.
Is good by Leonie Davis.
The Lynx trailing.
Eu não acredito nesses mitos, não. Hoje é sexta-feira 13. Vou botar logo as músicas, né? Apagar logo isso aqui. A paz esteja convosco, irmãos, baterista da IMS. Vou botar logo as músicas aqui pra ir ouvindo, viu, Jó? Beleza? Tamo junto. Bom dia. Meu Deus.
looking for some kind of spark here.
Yeah, cold stretch offensively. They need a bucket.
Smith makes it off the glass.
A player who can get creative offensively. Let's just say Smith knows what to do inside.
Here's Phoebish. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up, 5 down for her so far. And here's Williams. No scoring yet from her, but that's likely to change. Carlton's shot is off. Ionescu has it. Now guarded by Collier. Here's Phoebish. Again, the Liberty, good for 2.
They've done good work with the ball. They've been moving and getting quality chances.
And their field goal percentage reflects that. They've been the much better team shooting the ball.
And it's not just about shooting, Brian, as we were just mentioning. It's about moving, cutting, all the little things.
Coach has always told me that if you battle for offensive rebounds, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on the follow, just like she got there.
Esqueci de botar o... Eu botei o... Poxa. Botei errado. Truncou, velho. Errado.
Here's Minnesota. They trail by 6. McBride misses. Here's Phoebish. She's guarded by Williams. Offensive board. And that one's good. Jones.
Terrific job to to put back. She stayed with that play from start to finish, and that's something we say about her a lot.
Here's Collier. Oh, no good trying to beat the buzzer. We've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Liberty out in front. They're up by 8. And the second quarter. And now the second quarter just getting set to begin. And taking a look at the Liberty performance here. Guys, what are your thoughts?
They've made the most of their fast break chances here in the early going.
Yeah, tie your shoelaces because they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
Not able to get the ball in bounds, and they get called for a 5-second violation. Pass to Miller. And the foul is called. She intentionally grabbed her there for some reason.
And maybe she was trying to slow the pace down. I don't know. Strange move one way or the other.
Miller with it. Cloud picks her up. From deep. Here's Peely. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
Not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
And it'll happen again and again if they don't put more effort into boxing out.
And that's what it's all about, Brian. Rebound, effort.
Superb assist. She was crafty, creative, and the ultimate teammate on that play.
You have to respect how Jonquel Jones has continually upped her game.
Well, she never seems satisfied with her game, does she? Even after she won Most Improved Player, she just kept working to get even better. And the results speak for themselves, as she eventually won League MVP.
Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Pass to Miller. That's in, and she found her range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
I'll bet her percentage is pretty high from that range.
Hey, yo, right here.
Here's Davis. Rebound by the Lynx.
Well, this is why you need good defenders inside contesting shots.
Yeah, making every shot a tough shot, even in tight.
And so it's New York with it. Pass to Cloud. That one, good for 2.
Crazy. Just so crafty from the foul line down. Cloud makes up for a lack of size with savvy.
Hey, yo, right here.
Here's Heidemann. She's covered by Cloud. Takes it from 10. And Jonquel Jones pulls it down.
I'm marking that one down. I mean, it's going to be a long time until we see her miss another one like that.
Here's Davis. Shepard pulls it in.
That's a shot she's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Here's Heidemann. She's covered by Cloud. Diamond Miller for 3. Cloud pulls it in. On offense, here the Liberty. 10-point lead. This is their biggest lead. Well, the W is always looking at new rules and ways to make the game better. They added a reset timeout this year.
Yeah, I love it. You can use it to advance the ball. However, you can't go to the sideline to huddle.
Yeah, so it's a super short break. It keeps the game moving, and it challenges coaches in how they communicate to players.
Well, back in the early 2010s, the Lynx went on one of the best runs we've ever seen.
And forget, WNBA. We're talking one of the best runs in American pro sports history. From 2011 to 2017, 4 titles, 6 final appearances, sustained excellence we haven't seen since.
Here's Davis. That's in for her first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
She's got to be a little embarrassed for joining the Paratroopers Club on that pump fake. Come on, you got to be a little bit more disciplined.
Back to Miller for 3. New York with the rebound. Cloud outside. From the high post, he drills it.
It's good to see Cloud knocking down the mid-range jumper and taking what comes to her.
And they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. They got to score.
Heidemann. The three-pointer is on target. Timeout called the Liberty. And former MVP Jonquel Jones made a finals appearance in her first season with the Liberty.
Yeah, and she also led the Sun to the finals while she was in Connecticut. Steve Jones, she's just the ideal stretch big. 6'6", great length, about 38% from three over her career. If you have Jones on your team, you're going to win a lot of games.
Knocked loose. And so it looks like Liberty will retain possession here. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. And they pick up two.
With great size for a point, Ionescu could just bounce off contact.
Here's Minnesota. 11-point game. Pass to Smith. Miller. Now Williams. Jacks up a three. Cloud pulls it in.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Shot from 12. The rebound by Courtney Williams.
Didn't come away with points, but they'd be happy if every possession ended with that shot.
Down low. Gets it to drop, and she's now shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
Great to see her score inside. Collier is an all-around forward, capable of scoring in a variety of ways, including in the paint.
Back to Stewart. And that one drops for her.
Good pass work. The assist is right on target.
Here's Williams. She's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pass to Miller. Stewart comes with the double team. Kept alive. Collier. And there's the bucket. Staying with it that time. And offensive glass getting it done.
Simple game plan. Collier's teammates need to keep getting it to her. She's feeling it, going to town on the defense.
Minnesota trailing. Outside Williams. Nafisa Collier for three. Slides right through for her 7th basket in 11 tries.
Because of Collier's ability to space the floor, she gives her team a deeper offensive identity.
And she comes up with the deuce.
That's what I call pretty passive. Timely recognition as to where the open teammate was.
Outside Williams. From outside the arc. Rebound New York. They held a 12-point lead earlier. Here's Cloud. Good on the jump shot.
This is what you love to see. Natasha Cloud operating in the pick and roll and finding ways to cash in.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And the basket by Miller.
She was one step ahead of the D in making that pass. Nice assist.
New York in the lead.
Clock's on their side here.
That's right. They can hold it for the last shot.
And that one's good. Stewart.
Stewart's presence down low stems from her skills and finesse. She's something to watch and something to admire.
Here's Miller. And terrific work on the offensive glass as she picks up two.
Took advantage of some shoddy D there.
That's the
They
end
gotta
of
at
the
least
second
get a
quarter.
finger on her.
Your Liberty,
And so that's the end of the first half.
the Minnesota team, 34.
Now the second half about to get started up again any moment. And, you know, Collier has been really making it happen, guys.
Well, she created a lot of good shots for her. herself in the first couple of quarters, and she knows when to pass up on the tough ones. Good shot selection.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for her. And that's a stat that really tells you how efficient a player has been. That's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to do it.
And this Liberty team, of course, features Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu. How about that big three?
One of the best we've ever seen. Stewie and Jones are former MVPs, and Ionescu could win one pretty soon herself. This is a loaded roster.
The three ball. And it's Ionescu with the rebound. On offense, here the Liberty. They're leading by 8. Basket good.
Is good by Leonie Finish.
Second half rolling along. About a minute played here. Pass to Carlton. Collier with it. Now Williams. The three. Yes, and it's Napisa Collier picking up the assist.
You know, there are certain players who shoot much better off a pass. Williams is one of them. Allows her to set her feet.
Ionescu. She's guarded by Williams. And the basket by Ionescu. 90 seconds into the second half now. Now here's Williams. Offensive rebound. For three, Kayla McBride. She can't get it to go.
She can't get anything to drop. And the way she's going, it's probably not something she should try to shoot her way out of.
And I'm sure her teammates would agree with that. You know, the last thing they want to see her doing is shooting it more. If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. Because 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup.
Inside. And that one's drained from the low block.
You know, you simply cannot say enough about her individual performance so far, even if the all-around team effort has been lacking.
Stewart with the bucket.
Crashes the glass with effort and intensity. Stewart loves turning boards into buckets.
Smith outside to the paint. Collier. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Here's Febish. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 attempts.
Orchestrating the offense. It's what Ionescu excels at. The ability to make everybody around her better.
They get it back. Carlton shot is off.
Boy, she made a mess of that finish.
Shot from 12. And that one hits back iron.
Well, for what's a routine shot, she looked a little nervous on that release, wouldn't you say?
Really left alone that time.
Score from anywhere on the court, and McBride has really taken on that alpha personality type.
And the Liberty call time here. In terms of defensive guards, who do you think is the best in the league, Brian?
I think you start with Brittany Sykes. She's been all defense the last 4 seasons and creates havoc at the point of attack.
And I like Jordan Canada. You know, she's a little smaller at 5'6", but she piles up the steals, is normally amongst the league leaders, and is so quick. I mean, she is a menace guarding the ball.
And so it's New York with it. They held a 12-point lead earlier. Wasted no time on that one.
When she gets it in her head that she's going to score, it's very hard for the defense to do anything about it.
To the inside. And shots good by Peely.
Look at the soft touch, just a gentle little teardrop.
Here's Ionescu. Lays it up and banks it in.
Plays so tough inside. Ionescu will not back down.
Here's Heidemann, covered by Ionescu. There's the call on Jonquel Jones.
First personal foul.
That is her first foul of the
team
game.
foul.
Here's Heidemann. No good on the quick three. And these guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assists.
When everybody's involved offensively, it's in a way helping you defensively too.
She's their go-to scorer, and when she shoots the ball like she has today, that is what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Minnesota trailing. Now Heidemann. She has 5. She tries for 3. Offensive rebound. Shepard. And the basket by Collier.
Knows how to move the ball around the
Jessica
floor.
Shepard.
Shepard is pretty good at finding her targets.
Here's Ionescu. Using the post moves to get the 2 points. Now the Lynx with it. Minnesota calls a timeout. And when you talk about winning, historically, the Lynx are up there with any team in the WNBA.
Absolutely. You look at their 4 titles, which is tied for the most in league history. Then you see they have the 3rd best winning percentage of all time. I mean, this is a franchise that consistently has been in the hunt over the years.
Here's Heidemann. A rebound by Burke. Outside Stewart. Over Collier. And it's Stewart missing. Here's Minnesota. Trailing here by 8. Collier gets the bucket.
Collier.
What an alert play. Just a great job of hitting her teammate on the move.
Three-pointer Sabrina Ionescu. Sinks in. What range from downtown.
A big move in Ionescu's endless offensive arsenal, the stop and pop, getting her defenders on their heels.
Pass to Peely. Let's go with a 3. A rebound by Brianna Stewart. To the middle. Here's Davis. Well-timed pass and goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Very high-quality shot. Can't get enough of those.
Here's Heidemann. And shots good by Peely.
That is some dime-dropping, exquisite assist.
And that's it for the 3rd quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head into the 4th. Liberty.
56.
And now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Well, this is what being on the same page looks like. Fantastic feed and a heads-up play all around.
And how can you not be a fan of a sequence like that? This is what beautiful basketball is all about.
Yeah, unselfishness, just wonderful stuff.
The 4th quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back to the paint. Here's Smith. Rebound New York. Inside. She gets that one.
Now you can tell Jones knows when it's time to dominate. Go inside and take charge of the paint.
Pass to Carlton. Takes the 3. Minnesota gets it back. Smith, no good. And the Liberty with possession here. Cloud. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
That's a very low percentage shot, but it's the result they were looking for.
They double her with Ionescu. And here's Heidemann. Here's Williams. And she uses the glass on the layup.
Yes.
No fear, Williams is
Natisha
normally the
Heidemann.
smallest player on the floor, but she can operate down low with her toughness.
Here's Bebish. No good from outside. Collier with it. Picked up by Stewart. The pull-up. They grab their own miss. Here's Cloud. And it's Courtney Williams with the rebound. Down low. Tries from 7. Bucket is good.
Natisha Heidemann.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. Here's Cloud. Here's Jones. Drops the inside leader.
Well, Jones has a talent for owning the boards. Here she keeps the play alive and finishes it strong.
Pass to Smith. Now Carlton. Here's Heidemann. And there's the 3-second call. This one going to be on the defense. Well, New York won that 2020 lottery. Their prize, man, it was a great one. Sabrina Ionescu.
Well, she was the first piece, right? And she endured some tough times. But her talent and overall play helped attract Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and other key players.
And she shows the focus there, nails the technical. To the left wing, here's Carlton. That falls. Great assist by Kayla McBride.
Always looking for holes in the defense. It's McBride's recognition that allows her to slice up any defensive scheme.
And the shot goes in. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed by now here in the fourth quarter. On the wing, Kayla McBride. And a miss there on the triple.
She may have been surprised to find herself so open, and maybe that's why she missed.
Stewart with the bucket.
Another bucket from Stewart, who's having a nice game offensively. She's a well-rounded player.
To the inside. And she takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Nafisa Collier.
New York leading. Inside. And again, Brianna Stewart.
The will, the desire. When Stewart is locked in offensively, there's little you can do to stop her.
To the paint. Smith. And it's Ionescu with the rebound. And the Liberty with possession here. Brianna Stewart again.
That's a clean look they gave her there, fellas. And, I mean, she drains those. So I wouldn't give her too many of those looks if I was the defense.
Minnesota calls a timeout. The #1 overall pick in 2016, Brianna Stewart continues to be a big-time player in the W.
Well, her transition from Connecticut to the WNBA was seamless. She won Rookie of the Year and established herself as a star right from the jump. Now, as a veteran, Stewie remains one of the most dominant players in the league.
A little over 3.5 minutes in the books now for this fourth quarter. Collier defended by Stewart. McBride outside. Offline with the three. And a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, they should use some clock.
Minnesota grabs the miss.
Can't get a much better look than that.
Yeah, no way you expect her to miss that shot.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Boy, I'm not sure what that was about. Talk about a brain cramp.
That's just completely out of left field. She lost all sense of the time and the situation.
And they are just killing them with the three-point shot here in the second half.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. They are fully stretched out there trying to stop the three and still haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know defensively what they can do different at this point.
And that was your New York Answers.
Here's Jones. Count that as a 7th field goal in 10 tries. She's shooting a nifty 70%.
Couldn't run the inbounds play any better than that.
Pass to Collier. Over Stewart. They get it back. Goes right side. That one's good. And so Natasha Cloud gets the assist.
Taking what she gets on offense, like seeing Jones make use of the mid-range in this possession.
Now McBride. She's covered by Cloud. Here's Smith. From 8 feet away, she drops it in.
She picked her out brilliantly with that feed inside.
Here's Jones. Again, the Liberty good for 2.
When Jones gets going like this, she seems to be everywhere at once. She can certainly overwhelm opponents.
Smith, no good. With the prospect of making a big lead even bigger.
They should jump at this chance. Stretch that lead out as much as possible.
Jones. And Carlton pulls it down.
Foul. John Paul Jones. Second personal foul. Second team foul. At the line.
And
for
the first
away
one
team,
falls for her.
Bridget
And in
Carlton.
2023, the Liberty made their long-awaited return to the WNBA Finals.
It's crazy to think about it, guys, but that was their first trip to the finals in 21 years. And despite it being the Liberty's 5th finals appearance, still no titles. Incredible when you think this is an original WNBA franchise and the amount of stars and Hall of Famers they've had over the years.
Sabrina Ionescu from outside. Good for her 8th field goal. She's attempted a dozen shots.
And that's got to be the nail in the coffin.
I'd say so. They've done a great job of closing this one out, never backing off, even with the big lead.
Pass to Williams. Launches it. Rebound New York. Cloud with it. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Hits the three-point bomb.
I don't want to say that they're trying to run up the score, but they do keep adding up to that lead.
Well, if you won't say it, partner, I will. They're trying to run up the score here.
Thanks for saying that, Brian.
McBride. She's covered by Cloud. And again, no good by Minnesota. Fades. The shot by Ionescu, no good. And so New York takes this one by a big margin. They poured it on tonight. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
This game really a defining game for what they
for
can do
making
when
it
they're
happen
playing at their
for your
best.
team.
Being here at home helps,
Against
but the execution
Columbia.
anywhere was terrific.
And that'll wrap it up.